Question 1, it says in 2021, the cost of posting a letter was 84 cents. A company posts 1,950 letters. Find the cost in dollars to post these letters. $1 equals to 100 cents. So to convert 84 cents into dollars, 1 cent is going to equal to 1 over $100, which means we do 84 over 100, which is $0.84. So to find the cost of posting 1,950 letters, you multiply 1950 by 0.84, and that is going to equal $1,638. Next, it says in 2022, the cost of posting a letter is 96 cents. Calculate the percentage increase in the cost of posting a letter. So previously it was 84 cents. So if we do 96 minus 84 over 84 times 100. 96 minus 84 is 12. So 12 over 84 times 100, and that's going to give us 14.3%. Then it says cost of posting letter is 96 cents, 15% discount when monthly postage is more than $1,000. Company A posts 1,200 letters in 1 month. Company B posts fewer letters than Company A in the same month. Company A and Company B each pay the same amount to post their letters that month. Find the number of letters Company B posts in that month. So what we're going to do is, we know Company A is posting 1,200 letters in 1 month. And there's a 15% discount when monthly postage is more than $1,000. So let's first find the cost of posting 1,200 letters in 1 month. So Company A, we will do 1,200 times 0.96. Why 0.96? Because it's in cents and we need to find the cost in dollars. So that's going to equal $1,152. As you can see, that is more than $1,000. So we get a 15% discount. So if we find a 15% discount of this, 1,152 times 15 over 100, that's going to give us $172.8. So this will be reduced from $1,152. So new price is going to be 1,152 minus 172.8, and we're going to get $979.2. Then Company B posts fewer letters than Company A in the same month. Company A and Company B each pay the same amount to post their letters that month. So Company A was initially giving 1,152, but they got a discount of 15%, which reduced their cost to $979.2. As the question says, Company A and Company B each pay the same amount to post their letters that month. So Company A is paying this amount, $979.2. So for Company B, it's also going to be the same, 979.2 equals to, we don't know the number of letters they are posting, so that's going to be X times 0.96, because that is still the cost of posting a letter in that year. So 979.2 divided by 0.96, and that's going to give us 1,020. So this is the amount of letters Company B is posting that month. Remember that the cost that they're paying is the same. So if we find the cost of Company A, we can easily use that cost for Company B. And the cost of posting the letter like each letter is consistent, that is 96 cents. So you just divide the two and we get the number of letters for company B. Then it says in 2022, the cost of posting a parcel with a mass of 1 kg or less is $4.60. The cost increases by $1.10 for each additional 0.5 kg. Find the cost of posting a parcel with a mass of 3.5 kg. So if the parcel is 1 kg or less, the cost is 4.60. So our parcel is 3.5 kgs. So the cost increases by 1.10 for each additional 0.5 kg. So for 1 kg, it's $4.60. Now each additional 0.5 kg. So the next 0.5 kg will cost, the cost is going to increase by 1.10. So 4.60 plus 1.10. Then for the next kg, it's again going to increase by 1.10. Then for the next, another 1.10 is added to this. So we have 2.5 kg, so 1 kg more left. So another 0.5 kg and another 0.5 kg. So if we add these up, this is going to be $5.7. This is going to be $6.8. This is going to be $7.9. So this one will be $9. And this one will be $10.1. As you can see, we added 1.1 to each. So the cost of posting a parcel with a mass of 3.5 kg is going to be $10.1. This is the final cost. Because if we add the masses, 1 plus 0.5 is 1.5, then 2, 2.5, 3, and 3.5. The cost of posting parcels increases by 7.2%. After the increase, the cost of posting a parcel is $13.40. Calculate the original cost of posting this parcel. So 7.2 over 100 is equal to 13.40 minus x over x. Your formula is basically percentage equals to new value minus old value divided by old value times 100. So it's going to be 7.2x equals to 1340 minus 100x. 7.2x plus 100x equals to 1340. So that's going to be 107.2x equals to 1340. X is going to be 1340 divided by 107.2, and that's going to give us $12.5. So $12.5 is your original amount before the increase. Question 2 says A equals to 3P plus Q. Find Q when A is 23 and P is 5. So 23 equals to 3 times 5 plus Q. 23 equals to 15 plus Q. 23 minus 15 equals to Q, which is going to equal to 8. Expand and simplify. So we're going to multiply 2 with 2x, 2 with 5, 3 with x, and 3 with negative 6. That's going to be 2 times 2x is 4x, 2 times 5 is 10, 3 times x is 3x, and 3 times -6 is -18. Combine the like terms, 4x plus 3x and 10 and -18. 4x plus 3x is 7x. 10 minus 18 is -8. Solve 5y plus 3 equals to 1. 5y would equal to 1 minus 3. Basically, the goal is to isolate y on one side. So we're going to take every single term on the right-hand side one by one. So first we took 3 to the right-hand side. So it becomes 5y equals to 1 minus 3, which is 5y equals to -2. Now we're going to divide both sides by 5 to get the 5 with y. So that's going to give us y equals to -2 over 5. Factorize 12r square minus 8rs. Between these two terms, we have 4 and r common. Why? Because 12r square is 4 times 3 times r, and 8rs is 4 times 2 times r times s. As you can see, 4 is common and r is common. So that's going to give us 4r bracket 3r minus 2s. This is our fully factorized equation. We can't further factorize it. Rearrange a equals to 3b to make b the subject. So we're going to do a divided by 3, and that's b. Basically, we had to get rid of the 3 with b. So to do that, you will divide both sides by 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1. So a over 3 equals to b. Question 3 says a 5-sided spinner is numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. The table shows the results from spinning the spinner 200 times. A pie chart is drawn to show this information. Calculate the angle of the sector representing number 4. So for number 4, it's going to be, we will divide the frequency of 4, which is 35, by the total frequency, which is 200, and multiply the fraction by 360. But since we're trying to find the angle in a pie chart, a full pie chart has an angle of 360. So for a portion of it, we multiplied the fraction of the event that we're talking about with 360. So 35 divided by 200 times 360 is going to equal to 63 degrees. Then it says use the results to estimate the probability that the spinner lands on 3. So for the spinner to land on 3, the frequency is given as 28. So the probability of the spinner to land on 3 is going to be 28 over 200, which you can simplify to 7 over 50. Use the results to estimate the probability that the spinner lands on a number that is a factor of 30. So for a factor of 30 is this. Factor of 30 is this, this, and this. 4 factors of 30. So what we're going to do is, since we're trying to find the probability of a factor of 30 landing on the spinner, so probability of factor of 30 will be sum of all of these frequencies for the factors 51 plus 19 plus 28 plus 67 divided by the total frequency, which is 200. That's going to be 165 over 200. The reason why we're adding these frequencies is because we're talking about all of those factors of 30 which the spinner can land on, which means it can be either of these frequencies. So we add up the frequencies since we're talking about the entire set of factors, not one specific factor. And that sum of frequencies will be divided by the total frequency, which is 200. The spinner is spun 3,000 times. Estimate the number of times it lands on an even number. So if we go back to the table, our even numbers are this and this. So we will do 19 plus 35 divided by 200 and then times 3,000 because the spinner is being spun 3,000 times. So 19 plus 35 is going to be 54. Over 200 times 3,000. You can simplify this. The zeros cut out. 2 ones are 2, 15. So 45. So 54 times 15 is 810. Question 4 says the diagram shows a pentagon. All the lengths are in centimeters. Calculate the area of the pentagon. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide this composite shape into two parts. If this entire thing is 9, this would also be 9. And 15 minus 9 will give us 6. So this part is 6. We don't know this slant height. However, what we can do is we can further break it down. And say if this is 12 and this is 4, this part will be 12 minus 4, which is 8. So this is 4, this is 8. So I'm going to call this A and I'm going to call this B. Area of A is going to be 9 times 4. Because if this part is 4 and this part is 4, this line is also 4. So that's 36 centimeters square. And I'm going to shape B. Area of B is going to be this rectangle. So that's 6 times 4, which is 24 centimeters square. And then this is C. Area of C is going to be 1 over 2 times the base, which is 6 again, and times the height, which is 8. So that is going to be 24 centimeters square. So now total area of the pentagon is 36 plus 24 plus 24, which is going to equal to 84 centimeters square. Find the perimeter of the pentagon. So if we go back to the lengths that I had calculated, I'm just going to remove this. We don't know this length. Currently, we don't know this length. Every other length has been calculated. So as you can see, this is a right angle triangle. And we need to find the hypotenuse. So we can use Pythagoras. Yeah, let's call this x. So x square is going to equal to 8 square plus 6 square. Because the triangle we're looking at is basically this. This is x, this is 8, and this is 6. So that's going to be 64 plus 36, square root both sides, and x would equal to square root of 100, which is 10 centimeters. So perimeter is going to be the sum of 12, this entire length, then plus 15, plus 4, plus 9, and plus 10. That is going to give us 50 centimeters. Volume of sphere is 4/3 pi r cube. A sphere has a volume of 2,572 centimeter cube. Find the radius. So we will do 2,572 equal to 4/3 pi r cube. Cross multiply 2,572 times 3 divided by 4 pi. We've made r cube the subject. So if we solve that, 2,572 times 3 divided by 4 pi, 614.02. I'm going to take the cube root of both sides, and that's going to give me 8.5 centimeters. That is your radius of the sphere. Part C says the cuboid has dimensions 2 centimeter by 6 centimeters by 22.5 centimeters. Calculate the surface area. So surface area is going to be 2 times 6 plus 2 times 22.5 plus 2 times 6 times 22.5. We solve this, we get 384 centimeter square. Why we're dividing each product by 2? Because if you look at the cuboid, there are 2 sides to each. So if you look at the top face, that is 22.5 times 6, and so is the bottom face. Then if you look at the side faces, it's 2 times 6, so 2 times 6 over here. Then front and back is 22.5 times 2, and then again 22.5 times 2. A cube of edge x centimeter has the same surface area as the cuboid. Form an equation in x and solve it to find the length of the edge of the cube. So if you look at a cube basically has all square faces. So this is our cube. And it says that a cube of edge x centimeters. That means all lengths are x over here, okay? And if this sharing the same surface area, which is 384, which we just calculated, so 384 would equal to 6 times x square. Why 6 times x square? Because a square has the area of x times x. And since a cube has 6 faces, 2 on the top, 2 in the front, and 2 on the side, so we do 6 times x square. So 384 is 6x square. And then to find the value of x using this equation, I'm going to divide 384 by 6, which will give us 64. And then we square root 64, which will give us 8 centimeter as the value of x. Question 5 says a group of students each complete a puzzle. The table shows the time t seconds each student took to complete the puzzle. Find the number of students who took 2 minutes, 20 seconds or less to complete the puzzle. So let's convert 2 minutes, 20 seconds into seconds. 1 minute is 60 seconds. So 2 minutes will be 60 times 2, which is 120 seconds. Okay. So 120 plus 20 is going to be 140 seconds. So we need to find the number of students who took 140 seconds or less, which is basically going to be this bracket. So the number of students is going to be 13 plus 26, which is 39. Then it says calculate an estimate of the mean time taken in seconds to complete the puzzle. So to calculate the mean time, we first find the x value, which is going to be the midpoint of our intervals. For 80 and 120, it's going to be 100. For 120 and 140, it's going to be 130. For 140 and 150, it's 145. And for 150 and 240, it's going to be 195. So next what we're going to do is we're going to say that the mean is going to be sigma fx over sigma f. Sigma means sum. So sum of the product of f and x value divided by the total frequency. So that's going to be 100 times 13 plus 26 times 130 plus 27 times 145 plus 24 times 195. And this entire thing is going to be divided by the total frequency, which is going to be 13 plus 26 plus 27 plus 24. All of this is going to give us the value of 13,275 divided by 90, and that equals 147.5. That is your mean value of this data set. A group of adults who completed this puzzle, and the information is given using this cumulative frequency diagram. Use the cumulative frequency diagram to complete the frequency table. For the interval of 150 to 200, we draw a line from 200 to the graph. And that actually falls over here. Yeah. So that's going to be 62, 64, 66. So first cumulative frequency we got was 30. Then we got 66. Then for 250, that is for 250. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 110, and that's going to be 112. And then for 300, that's 200. That's 112 and 200. 112 and 120. So now if we find the frequencies, we will do first 30 minus 8, which will give us 22. So this will be 22. And for the 150 to 200 interval, I will do 66 minus 22 minus 8, which will give us 36. Then over here, I'm going to do 112 minus 36 minus 22 minus 8, which will give us 46. And lastly, I will subtract all of these values from 120. So 120 minus 46 minus 36 minus 22 and minus 8, which equals 8. So these are the frequencies using the cumulative frequency diagram. Always remember, you go from your maximum interval to the graph and find the corresponding cumulative frequency. Then you use that cumulative frequency by subtracting it from the initial value. So you keep on subtracting the previous values from the next value to get the frequency value. Because basically cumulative frequency was a sum of all these values, right? So if we're going backwards from cumulative to the original frequency, you subtract all of those values that were before that value instead of adding them. Then it says use the cumulative frequency diagram to find an estimate of the median. So median will be half of this. Since the total is 120, so median value is going to start from the 60th value, and that is going to give us we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 divisions. So each division represents 5. So 9 times 5 is 45. So 150 plus 45. And our median value is 195 seconds, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, seconds. 195 seconds, the median value. Then 55% of the adults took between 125 seconds and k seconds to complete the puzzle. Use the cumulative frequency diagram to find the value of k. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the graph, find the 125th value first. That's going to be 105, 110, 115, 120, 125. So from 125, we're going to go to the graph and we're going to find the corresponding cumulative frequency, which is 18. Okay. So our starting point is 18, and it says 55% of the adults were in this interval. So 55 over 100 times 120, that's going to give us 66, which means from 18, we add 66 people, and that would give us the total number of people during this interval of 125 seconds to k seconds. So 66 plus 18, and that's going to give us 84. So we have 84 people in total. So that's the frequency of the, what's it called? The higher time interval. So what we're going to do is we're going to remove this. We're going to go to 84. So 84 is going to come over here. And this is going to be our value of k, which I'm getting as 205, 210, 215, something around that. Like 212, like I'm getting 215 to be exact, based on my graph. So 215 is our value of k. Question 6 says the line y equals to x plus 2 is drawn on the grid. On the grid, draw the line of x plus 2y equals to 7. X plus 2y equals to 7. So if I put x equals to 0, that will give us the y-intercept, which is basically 7 over 2. And if I put y equals to 0, that's going to give me the x-intercept, which is going to be x over 7. So one point over here is 7, 0. And the other point over here is 0 and 7 by 2. Now 7 by 2 is basically the same as 3.5. So 7, 0 is going to come over here. And 0, 3.5 is going to come over here. So now if we connect the 2 points, this is our graph for the equation x plus 2y equals to 7. Use your graph to find the solution of these simultaneous equations. So since we're going to find the solution graphically, what I'm getting is this. I'll take a different color. This is the solution that I'm getting, which is x equals to 1 and y equals to 3. Part C says the region R is defined by these three inequalities. Y is less than equal to x plus 2, x plus 2y is greater than equal to 7, and x is less than equal to 5. Shade and label region R. So let's go back. I'm just going to remove all of this. Now the inequalities we have are x is less than equal to 5, y is less than equal to x plus 2, and x plus 2y is greater than equal to 7. Okay. So let's first draw the line for x equals to 5, which is going to come over here. Now to shade the region now, for x is less than equal to 5, that is obviously shaded over here. Y is less than equal to x plus 2. So that means we're going to look at the y values less than. So it's going to be underneath the graph. And for x plus 2y greater than 7, it's obviously going to be above it. So the region that we're going to focus on, if we remove all of these extra lines, is basically this one in the middle. So that is R. The point Z is in region R. The x-coordinate and the y-coordinate of the point Z are both integers. Point Z does not lie on the boundary of region R. Find the number of possible solutions of point Z. So it's an integer. It does not lie on the boundary. So let's go back. So if I just remove these lines, yeah. Okay. So point Z can be this, point Z can be this, can be this, can be this, can be this, this, and this. So possible values are 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, 4, then 4, 2, 4, 3, 4, 4, and lastly 4, 5. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 possible values for the coordinates of Z. The y-coordinate of point Z is 1 more than the x. The y-coordinate of point Z is 1 more than its x-coordinate. Write down all the possible coordinates for point Z. So let me just remove this. So these are the possible combinations that we made. And they're saying y-coordinate is more than the x-coordinate. So it's 1 point more than. So we have this, and we have this, and this. So 2, 3, 3, 4, and 4, 5. These are the three possible coordinates for point Z. Question 7 says the diagram shows a speed time graph for a cyclist journey. Calculate the acceleration of the cyclist during the first 8 seconds. So which is basically this. We need to find the slope of this line. So we will do 6 minus 0 over 8 minus 0, which is 6 over 8. And 6 over 8 is basically simplified to 3 over 2. 6 over 8 can be simplified to 3 over 4. And that we know equals to 0.75 meter per second square. Describe the motion of the cyclist between t equals to 8 and t equals to 90. It's going to be constant speed. Because there's straight graph and it's like horizontally straight. It is moving at the same speed of 6 meters per second, so it's constant speed. The total distance traveled by the cyclist during the journey is 558 meters. Find the value of t. So always remember that in a speed time graph, your area under the graph is basically your distance. So distance is given as 558. And since the shape is a trapezium, we will do 1 over 2 times the height, which is 6, which is the height. So let me just, this is your height, and this, these are your parallel sides. This is your height, these are your parallel sides. So we're going to do 1 over 2 times 6, which is the height, times the sum of A and B. A is going to be 90 minus 8, which is 82, plus T. That's going to be 558 equals to 3 times 82 plus T. 558 divided by 3 is 82 plus T. 186. Then you subtract 82 from 186. That's going to give us 104 seconds. Convert 6 meters per second into kilometers per hour. So we'll do 6 divided by 1,000 times 3,600, which is going to give us 21.6 kilometers per hour. We know 1 kilometer is 1,000 meters. So 1 meter is going to be 1 over 1,000 kilometers. And similarly, 1 hour is 3,600 seconds. So 1 second will be 1 over 3,600 hours. So that's why we first divide the 6 by 1,000. That is going to give us 21.6. And we times it by 3,600, which gives us the time in the speed in kilometers per hours. A car travels 352 kilometers correct to the nearest kilometer. The time taken to travel this distance is 4.2 hours. Correct to the nearest 0.1 hour. Calculate the upper bound for the average speed of the car. So firstly, average speed has the formula of distance over time. To calculate the average speed of the car, your distance will be the upper bound value and your time will be the lower bound value, so that we can make sure the overall average speed is upper bound. If they were asking for the lower bound of average speed, then distance would be lower bound and time would be upper bound. Okay. So for the distance, your degree of accuracy is going to be your 1 divided by 2, which is 0.5. Why 1 divided by 2? Because it says correct to the nearest kilometer. Whatever it's correct to, you divide that value by 2. So 0.5, which means your upper bound of distance is going to be 352 plus 0.5, which is 352.5 kilometers. Then for your time, your degree of accuracy is going to be 0.1 divided by 2, which is going to give us 0.05 hours. So this will be used for the lower bound of time, which will be 4.2 minus 0.05. Since it's a lower bound, so we subtract the degree of accuracy. That's going to be 4.15 hours. So now your average speed so now your upper bound for the average speed is going to be 352.5 divided by 4.15, which will give us 84.9 kilometers per hour. Question 8 says the matrix A satisfies the following equation. Find the value of A. What I will do now is I will swap this with this. So we'll have 2, 5, 3, 2 minus 5, negative 4, 3, negative 1 equal to 3A. 2 minus 5, 3 minus 3, 5 minus negative 4, and 2 minus negative 1 equals to 3A, which will be negative 3, 0, 9, and 3 equal to 3A. So now to get the value of A, we will do negative 3 divided by 3, 0 divided by 3, 9 divided by 3, and 3 divided by 3, which will give us negative 1, 3, 0, and 1. That is your matrix A. Then B is 2, 4, negative 2P. The determinant of B is 2. Find the value of P and hence write down B inverse. We already have the determinant. So what we'll do is we'll find the transpose. So that's going to be P, 2, 2, and negative 4. We swap the first and the last value and change the sign of the second and the third value. So B inverse is going to be 1 over 2 times P negative 4, 2, 2. And to find the value of P, we will use the determinant. Determinant equals to 2P minus 4 times negative 2. That's 2 equals to 2P plus 8. 2 minus 8 equals to 2P. Negative 6 equals to 2P. And negative 3 is P. So you put the value of P over here. That's going to be 1 over 2. Negative 3, negative 4, 2, 2. If we divide the entire thing by 2, we get negative 1.5, negative 2, 1, 1. This is your inverse of B. Part C says the diagram shows shape A and shape B. Describe fully the single transformation that maps shape A onto shape B. So shape A onto shape B shows that there is a translation, both horizontal and vertical. If we compare the points, this and this, this point is negative 1, 2. And the other point is negative 5 and 5, which means to the x value, we subtracted 4. And for the y value, we added 3. So there is a translation by a vector of negative 4 and 3. The transformation represented by the matrix negative 0, 0, negative 2 maps shape A onto shape C. Draw and label shape C. What we will do is we will multiply each of the coordinates by this matrix. So A over here, let's say that's 2, 1. So we do 2 times negative 2 plus 1 times 0, 2 times 0 plus 1 times negative 2. That is going to give us negative 4 and negative 2. So that's one pair. For the next pair, I'm going to pick this one, 0, 1. So for 0, 1, it's going to be 0 times negative 2 plus 1 times 0, 0 times 0, and plus 1 times negative 2. It's going to be 0 and negative 2. That is the next coordinate. Then I'm going to use this one. That's going to be 2 and 2. So that's 2 times negative 2 plus 2 times 0. Then 2 times 0 plus 2 times negative 2, which is going to be negative 4 and negative 4. And now we're left with just one coordinate, which is this one. So that will give us negative 1 and 2. So negative 1 times negative 2 plus 2 times 0. Then negative 1 times 0 plus 2 times negative 2. That's going to be 2 and negative 4. So these are our 4 coordinates. And now let's plot these. So they're mostly going to be over here. Okay. So negative 4, negative 2 is down here. 0, negative 2 is down here. And negative 4 and negative 4 is here. And then we have 2, negative 4. So if we connect the points now, this is our shape C. 9 says PQ is a vertical pole. A rope is attached from the top of the pole P to a point on the ground R. PR is 20, RQ is 11, and RQP is given as 90 degrees. Show that PQ is 16.7. So since it's a right angle triangle, we can use Pythagoras to find the third length. 20 square equals to 11 square plus PQ square. 20 square minus 11 square square root equals to PQ. That's going to be 400 minus 121, which is 279. And square root of 279 will give us 16.7, correct to 16.70 meters, correct to 2 decimal places. Part B says a second rope is attached from P to a point S. PQS is 90 degrees and RS is 30. The angle of elevation of P from S is 36. Of P from S is 36. Calculate RQS S. They want us to find this angle. So I already found PQ, which was 16.7. What we can do is we can find the third length over here and then use that to find the angle that they're talking about. So we will do tan of 36 equals to 16.7 over QS. QS is going to be 16.7 divided by tan of 36, which will give us 22.99 meters. Then we will use the cosine rule to find the angle, because as you can see, we have all three lengths given, which is one of the conditions of the cosine rule. If all three lengths are given and you're trying to find a missing angle, and it's a non-right angle triangle, so you can use the cosine rule for this. So we will do cos of Q equals to 11 square minus 22.99 square plus 22.99 square minus 30 square divided by 2 times 11 times 22.99. So theta equals to cos inverse of negative 0.49519, and that's going to give us 119.68 degrees. Which we can like round to 119.7 degrees. Then part C says a third rope is attached from P to a point T. Angle TPQ is 40 degrees and PQT is 97. Calculate PT. So this is what we have to find. So to solve this, first we will find this missing angle over here. So angle PTQ is going to be 180 minus 40 minus 97, which is going to give us 43 degrees. So now, as you can see, we have one complete set of angle and its opposite length. That's 43 degrees and the length is 16.7. We have angle Q and we have to find its opposite length. So we can use sine rule because this triangle meets the condition for sine rule. We will say 16.7 over sine of 43 equals to PT or X divided by sine of 97. So we'll do 16.7 times sine of 97 divided by sine of 43. And this will give us 24.3 meters. That is your length of PT. Question 10 says D is the point 46 and E is the point EE. The length of DE is square root of 20. Form an equation in E and solve it to find the possible coordinates of E. So we're going to do square root of 20 equal to square root of 6 minus E whole square plus 4 minus E whole square. Both the square roots get cancelled out because I'm going to square both sides. That's going to leave us with 20 equals to 6 minus E whole square plus 4 minus E whole square. Expand the bracket. 6 minus E whole square is going to be 36 minus 12E plus E square. And 4 minus E square is going to be 16 minus 8E minus E square. Combine the like terms. So E square, where this is going to be positive. Yeah. Okay, so E square plus E square is 2E square minus 12E minus 8E is going to be negative 20E. 36 plus 16 is going to be 52. So bring the 20 to the other side. 2E square minus 20E plus 52 minus 20 And that's going to leave us with 2e square minus 20e plus 32. That is our equation. And now what we're going to do is we're going to factorize this. So first I'm going to divide everything by 2. That leaves us with e square minus 10e plus 16. 1 times 16 is 16, and factors of 16 are 8 and 2, 4 and 4, and 16 times 1. I'm going to choose 8 times 2 because 8 plus 2 gives us 10. So 0 equals to e square minus 8e minus 2e plus 16. E common, so e minus 8 minus 2 common, e minus 8. That's going to be e minus 8 times e minus 2. E is 8 and e is 2. So possible coordinates can be 2, 2 or 8, 8. Part B says f is the point negative f and 5f. The gradient of the perpendicular bisector of df is 3/2. Find the value of f. Point D was given as 4, 6. So D is 4, 6. So let's find the gradient of df first, which will be 6 minus 5f over 4 minus negative f, which gives us 6 minus 5f over 4 plus f. So to find the gradient of the perpendicular bisector, we will use the rule m1 times m2 equals to negative 1. If two lines are perpendicular, the gradient of the first line multiplied with the gradient of the second line will be negative 1. So 6 minus 5f over 4 plus f times m2, which is the gradient of the perpendicular bisector, equals to negative 1, which will be m2 equals to minus 4 plus f over 6 minus 5f, which is negative 4 minus f over 6 minus 5f. This equals to 3/2. So 3/2 equals to minus 4 minus f over 6 minus 5f. Cross multiply. 3 times 6 minus 5f equals to 2 times negative 4 minus f, which is 18 minus 15f equals to negative 8 minus 2f. So 18 plus 8 equals to 15f minus 2f. 18 plus 8 is 26. 15f minus 2f is 13f. 26 over 13 equals to f, which is 2. That is your answer. The equation of the perpendicular bisector of df is 2y equals to 3x plus k. Find the value of k. So the coordinate of f is going to be negative 2 and 5 times 2, which is negative 2 and 10. Because we substituted f equals to 2 in the coordinate. So we have the gradient, which is 3/2 from the previous part. Point f we have as negative 2 and 10. So we can do y minus y1 equals to m times x minus x1. Y minus 10 equals to 3/2 times x minus negative 2, which will give us y minus 10 equals to 3/2 times x plus 2. Cross multiply. 2 times y minus 10 equals to 3 times x plus 2, which is 2y minus 20, because you multiply 2 with y and 10, 3 with x and 2, so that's equal to 3x plus 6. 2y equals to 3x plus 6 plus 20. And as you can see, your K value is 26.